Welcome to the wreath shop. Tonight we're going to be making some pretty Christmas topiaries. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to be making this tonight. I had to make 4 of them, and I've already made 3. The other 2 are behind me. So if you are new to the page, I want to welcome you. Julie Samaka with Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make and sell them. I'm also a business coach and mentor to creative entrepreneurs through my Success Circle membership group, and I have a Wreath Making of the Month club. This month we are learning how to make this cute little elf wreath. Isn't he cute? Or she, depending on your gender. So that's in the group this month, and plus we've made a topiary, not a topiary, but a teardrop swag and another wreath that's behind me. Alright, so let's get started. And let's get started. I'm going to teach you how to make it step by step. Well, at least as much as I can. And here it is. Okay, I was like, where's my styrofoam? Alright, so this is what we're going to do. I have already pre-done the pots. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. So these are just pots that I got at Hobby Lobby. They are 4 inches wide. But you can see how I've stenciled on the side snowflakes, because this is a snow themed topiary. So isn't this cute? I used my classy at chalk.com transfers, and I used the snowflake transfer and the chalk paste, and then once it was wet I pulled off the transfer, and once it was wet I used very fine glitter on top of it, so it's got a little glimmer sheen to it. And then what I did was I took it outside and I sprayed a sealant on it so that it wouldn't come off and it won't rub off. But isn't that cute? It turned out really cute. So that goes all the way around. This is a large topiary, so I needed some weight to the container. So what I did was I poured in some of these aquarium rock, gravel, or whatever you want to call it. So they're the little, the colored, multicolored stuff. You put them in the bottom of fish tanks. A new bag. It hasn't been used in a fish tank. And I've poured some in the bottom of this pan, or this pot right here. And what that does is it gives it some weight on the bottom. And then what I did is I scooped about a half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of hot glue into that. So now you can see the inside. The glue is dry, the rocks are in there, and it's gotten some weight to it. Alright, so that's what I've done first. That's how I weighted it. Alright, so here we go. This is what I need. Alright, so I'm going to just trim this right here. So this is styrofoam. I guess it's about 3 inches, maybe 4. I push down on it to get an indentation, and then I'm going to use a knife and cut this. Sorry about the dogs. We're at the house, so that's life. Alright, so now I'm going to just trim this around the edge. And this is not the fun part. This is the, oh my gosh, that is annoying part. done this before, but I thought, you know, some of you might be interested in how I do this. All right, so now that I've gotten that round, I just keep putting it in and testing it on my pot. And then I keep trimming more. I can trim. I think that's good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is hot glue this in. So I'm just going to take some hot glue and dip it in my hot glue. I want to make sure to get it on the sides. And put it down in the pan. Now, since this is a metal pan, a metal pot, it's going to get hot on the sides. Okay, so now I'm going to let that dry and cool off a little bit before I can handle it. What I'm going to do now is fix my topiary and get that prepared. So this is a tree, just a Christmas tree that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I'm sure you've seen them. They have them in all different colors. All right, so when you're going to fluff this just a little bit to get its shape. And you're going to see some pieces that are a little longer than the others. And I just trim it with my wire cutters just so that it gets a really pretty shape. Alright, and now what I'm going to do is take off these things on the bottom. So this is the stand, and I'm just going to take this apart and take this, unscrew the bottom piece. I know, I apologize about the video starting and stopping. We'll see if it gets any better. I was really hoping to do this on live, but you know, sometimes technology has a mind of its own. It tries to be the boss of me. I'm trying to get as much of the metal part showing as possible. All right, and so when we have that exposed, now what I've decided to do is beef it up a little bit and make it a little bit thicker. So, because we're not going for the Christmas tree look, I'm going for a topiary look. So I've decided to add a little bit of garland into the branches. And that's what I did on this one behind me. If you can see it. Right here, I added a little bit of greener, white garland to the bottom. All right, so this is the garland. See how it's just a white piece of, you know, green garland. Not green, but white garland. And I'm going to wrap this around the base of, in between some of the branches. And I want it pretty tight. so now I'm going to move up the tree, wrapping this garland. So this is going to put a lot of thickness into the base. Alright, that looks like a hot mess, doesn't it? So once I have it now that I have it on here, I just start fluffing it a little bit more, making the garland intertwine or intermingle with the Christmas tree so that you can't really tell. I'm just going to keep maneuvering this a little bit more so that it's good and fluffed and it's thicker, just like that. I think this is good. I think I need to trim that one just a little bit. Okay. Alright, so this is what it looks like now. You can see that there is a color difference, but we'll fix that. Once we have everything in place with the ornaments and everything, you won't even be able to tell that that was added. Alright, so now what I need to do is put it on my base. We pull this upwards a little. And I'm going to use an awl to find the center. Right there. So I just put a little hole in the center of it so I know where to put this metal piece. I want it to go as far down as possible into this. Alright, so now I'm going to just dribble a little bit of hot glue on that hole. Let me get this a little closer. Okay. I'm going to put this down in the glue. Just going to push it as hard as I can. Just like that. And now I can start to move the branches down. And again, more fluffing. Just like your regular Christmas tree, huh? At home. Every time you add something, I gotta go back and fluff. I gotta go back and fluff. Okay, so now that this is pretty much done, so this is the base, just like that. And okay, so this is the base. We've got it right there. While this is drying, I'm going to go ahead and take apart some of the ornaments that I'm going to use. You don't have to put the extra garland on there if you don't want to. I just, my customer wanted a topiary, and so I was just trying to make it a little bit fuller, a little bit less tree looking, which is back behind me. These are wholesale pieces that I got from wholesale, and I just take everything off of it. It's just empty. Yes, you could use regular ornaments. These are styrofoam, very lightweight, and they're smaller than a regular sized ornament, and they're multiple sizes. Alright, so now let's see how we're doing over here. I think this will be ready to go now. So what I'm going to do is attach the larger ornaments on first. Alright, so I'm going to use the hot glue and put some hot glue on here. And then I'm going to attach it into the tree. I'm putting the larger ornaments on the bottom. Alright, so I am just going to keep on adding the blue up the up, and if you purchase the creatorsdigest.com video, then you'll know how I like to put things on in a triangle on the Christmas tree, and that's what I'm doing right now. By the end of this video, I'll have like glue caked onto my hands. Thanks, Charlotte. We are going for a winter theme look. So I'm just alternating the blue up the tree, and then as we get closer to the top is where I add in the smaller ornaments. And typically I'll be in the garage right here in my wreath shop, listening to the Christmas movies. Who has been on watching that Hallmark channel, getting all your Christmas movie fix. It puts you in the spirit, that's for sure. So I usually have my videos going of my Christmas movies while I'm working. I'm just going to keep adding these little ornaments, or they're not ornaments, but they're, you know, they look like ornaments. We cut them off of the a pick, but I'm just going to keep adding these all the way up the top. Okay, so this is what we've got. You can see some of the white and some of the blue. And now I'm going to add these little ornaments. They're plastic and they came from Hobby Lobby. These are where you find the mini trees. And I'm just going to pop off these ornament tops. We've got all of the ornaments added. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I cut off some of these leaves and I'm just going to add these to the bottom. And I think my glue pan is just a little on the thick side. Let me zoom in. So I'm just adding these leaves to the bottom right here, and this is going to add just a little bit of layer on the bottom, covering up some of the green, if there was any green showing. Okay, so we've added all of this going around the bottom. Now I'm going to add some coming up through the tree. Okay, let me add some of these white ones. Okay, so now that we've added all of this, this is what it looks like so far. I've tied a bow out of Deco Flex tubing, and I'm going to add this to the top. If I can see what I'm doing. There. All right, so now we've got a little tree topper. And now I want to add some snowflakes because it is a snowy themed topiary. So I've got these that are from, you know, Hobby Lobby, I think is where I got these. Just going to cut off a little bit on the end. So that they stick in just a little bit better. I do not know where I got that flex tubing from. I've had it forever. It was probably wholesale. I buy a lot of stuff wholesale. So I'm just going to cut these now in half. Before I was just cutting off a little pieces on them so that they were bigger. Let's see if you can see where I added. So here's one right here that I added, and then here's one right here that I added, the snowflakes. So you can kind of see them coming out of the tree just a little bit. And now I'm going to cut these in half. Keep adding them up the sides. These are going to be, I'm not sure where the client said she was going to have these, but when you're up close, you'll be able to see the snowflake. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is add some of the white feathery picks. So these are real pretty. These are feathery. I bought these at Hobby Lobby. This is going to add another texture. So we just keep separating these because we don't need them really big on the tree. Alright, so I think this should be enough. Let's see. I'm going to put these longer pieces on the bottom, coming out of the bottom. Do one more. Okay, so you can see how now the whole bottom is just pretty much filled with stuff. And now I'm going to add some of these other smaller pieces up through the tree. Now if I just look right here on the, what is that called, the leading edge of it, and you turn it, you'll be able to see places where you need, where you could put some more things so that it looks a little even, or more even. done with that. Let me do one more on the top. All right, so now I want to add some silver. Again, I'm just going to separate these pieces too. I got these wholesale. This is just going to add a little bit of layer, you know, more layers, more sparkle. We're almost done though. The best part is the end, you guys. I love what I came up with at the very last. Right, so let me find a place to put this stuff. Okay, I think that's good. Now what I want to do is make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Oh yeah, I did forget something. Hold on. I forgot about these berries. And I really should have added them before adding all of that white and silver filler. But we'll fit these in. Don't you love these little white balls? I think I'm going to cut these a little shorter. As I move closer to the top, I don't want them coming out as far. Okay, I think that's good. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get all this glue off of the piece just by going through it, getting off the glue around the base. Just clean up the base just a little bit. And all of these glue strings, I'm just going to pull these off because I need them off before I add the last element. And if you hold it up, you can see them in the light. I probably could pull out my hairdryer and get gone. You know, you could put your hairdryer on them real high, and then the glue will disappear that way too. So this is the fourth one that I made. And they'll be shipped to Florida for a corporate Christmas party. We made 14 table centerpieces that are going to have candles coming out of the center of them in the same color. Alright, I'm going to make sure I get it off of the glue strings. Alright, the next thing that I'm going to add is just a little, it's going to put another layer of texture on it, and to me it just kind of makes it a little bit fancier. Let's put that down there. See, that's why you need it weighted. That's why we put the rocks in the bottom, because it's heavy and I don't want it tipping over on a table. Alright, so here is the last piece. It's a garland I got from Hobby Lobby. And it's pearls, it looks pearls and fishing wire. That's what it reminds me of. And this is the part where I always wrestle with it. Once I can find the top, it's usually okay. Okay, that was like a year out of my life right there. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the bottom. So here is, isn't that pretty? So it's just an elegant, dainty pearl garland. And I'm going to start on the bottom. Let's see how I'm going to do it. Maybe if I come over on this side. Where do I want to start it? Okay, so I find a little branch. And then I'm going to wrap this garland around, or put it on the branch, and then fold the branch back over on itself, creating like a little hook. And then I'm just going to wrap it around the base. And then when I find another little branch, you know, a little ways away, I hook it again. I'm going to hook it again. Find a place at the very top. And so now what I do is I go back through the garland and I kind of separate it out a little bit so that it does, it's not knotted up. You can see some of the little strands coming out. So it spreads out as much as possible. This is really cute because this adds just that other, to me, this is just that finishing touch, that little extra something. And if I feel like there's a place that's too loose, I can pin it on one of the branches. And there we have it. So there is our topiary. But I think this turned out beautiful. So here is 1, 2, 3. Here's the other one. We've got 4 of them. I can't fit them all on the table right now. Aren't they cute? I think my customer is going to be very happy because I'm in total love with these. Now I'm going to wrap them in bubble wrap, put them in their individual boxes, and then put them in even a bigger box for added protection. These turned out super, super cute. This is going to be really cute on a buffet. I don't think they would be pretty in the middle. They'd be pretty in the middle of the table, but you wouldn't be able to have a conversation. So these would be pretty like if you had a bar, or if you were had a buffet, or if you wanted to put 2 of these on your mantle. This would be really pretty. You could put this on an island or something like that. But hopefully I inspired you to create something new and have fun. And it just started out with one of those cheap Christmas trees. And we just added more stuff and more layers to make it just so pretty.